You may be more qualified. You may have better content. You may be smarter or more talented, but it doesn't matter if you don't know the right people. The right skills without the right contacts are useless. The right ideas without the right connections to put those ideas into actions are useless. So don't whine. Learn how to develop the right relationships that can help you change your life and finally achieve the breakthrough you've been looking for. You are only one relationship away from a breakthrough. Welcome to the Affiliate Guy podcast. If you want to grow your income, serve your tribe, and enjoy all the benefits of affiliate marketing and having your own affiliates, you're in the right place. Thanks for joining me today. Now let's get started. So let's get this right out of the way. The amazing, crucial, top secret key to building relationships with VIPs and influencers all over the world is this. You introduce yourself. Podcast over, wisdom drop, mic drop, lives change, commence with the rest of your day. We're done. That's it. Shortest episode ever, right? No, I'm kidding. We're going to keep talking. Before we get deep into today's topic, I want to give a quick listener shout out to Scott Rosberg, who just left us a 5-star rating and review. He says, while I'm new to affiliate marketing, my learning curve has exploded since I found Matt McWilliams earlier this year. This podcast has just added to my experience. Great info and an easy to listen to format. Thank you, Scott. If you have not yet left a rating and review, please do so. It helps us get discovered by more people. When you say nice things about us, when you give us 5 stars, when you give us a good review, a well thought out review, and make sure that you leave your URL in the review. And when I mention your review, like I just mentioned Scott's, I'll mention your URL. And I know from doing that, having my review mentioned on some podcasts back in the day, I know that I get traffic from that. I know for a fact. So listen, last night, I was a part of a webinar. I attended it. We're promoting Pete Vargas's Stage to Scale launch as an affiliate partner. And he had this webinar. Now, I would tell you to go to the webinar and sign up, but you can't because he only does it once a year. And so you can't even sign up. So I'm not even going to try to promote it to you. I will say, if you are interested in Stage to Scale, if you're interested in getting on stages and speaking and learning how, and when I say stages, that could be a podcast, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be Facebook Lives, whatever it may be. If you're interested in improving your message, he had 28,000 people in this webinar last night. 28,000 people registered. And I know that this webinar ended up doing more than $1 million in sales. We were texting this morning, more than $1 million in sales. Unbelievable. That's Pete. That's the power of Pete. So if you're interested in learning about stages, go to ystages.com/Matt and make sure to get when this releases, his workshop will be open for 3 more days, his free workshop. So ystages.com/Matt. Make sure to go to that and register and watch what Pete's doing, learn from him and learn about stages. But, I mentioned that the key is here. The reason I mentioned that is, why did he have 28,000 people registered? Why did he do more than $1 million on this webinar? Because he has the right connections, the right relationships. And I said, the beginning, how do you get these connections, right? Well, you reach out to them. You introduce yourself. Seriously, that's the key. But that's the hurdle that most people aren't willing to jump over. They're not willing to stick their neck out and risk rejection, risk public embarrassment, which, by the way, public embarrassment, embarrassment in general is usually not the result of reaching out to people. It very rarely happens. And so they're not willing to risk that to try to connect with someone who could potentially change their lives. The downside, like the upside to connecting with one influencer is 1,000 times greater than the downside of getting rejected by 999. But we fear the things that could happen. I struggle with those fears for years. Like even today, I'm about to send an email, like hit send on an email to someone that I admire. I'm about to pick up the phone and connect with someone that I look up to, someone that's a level up from me. You know, we're talking like the decamillionaires of the world that I don't have relationships with. I have relationships with a lot of people. I don't have any relationships that I know of with billionaires, but some near billionaires like Kevin Harrington, you know, and other people like that. Yeah, I can go hang out with people that I already have a relationship with that are world famous, and I don't have any issues. But when I don't know somebody, I'm like a 13-year-old boy calling a girl to ask, you know, on his first date. I remember what that was like. I remember when I was 10 actually, and I called a girl. It was my dad had let me go out. I was like, you can go out on like a date, you know, a chaperone date. And I did the whole thing where I called, like hung up right away, you know, and we just watched the Peanuts movie the other day. And, you know, Charlie Brown goes up and he's about to ring the doorbell, but he doesn't. So Snoopy rings it and then runs off. And then Charlie Brown's like hiding in the bushes. And I remember like the thoughts that I have even today, like, what's he going to think? You know, do I sound too pushy? He's probably not even going to read it. So why even bother? You know, like I feel like such a dork. Like I shouldn't even bother doing this. Listen, I've had dinner with CEOs. I've had dinner with the original shark from Shark Tank. I've played golf with the majority leader of the United States House of Representatives, right? I used to play golf all the time with, you know, Grammy-winning rock stars, and backstage at more concerts than I can count. And yet only weeks ago, I remember I stood at my desk with my mouse hovering over the send button, saying those stupid things that I just listed. Saying those things to myself. And the seconds ticked by. About a minute. Still hadn't sent the email. Simple email, just a quick hello, right? So of course I went to get a drink of water. Still hadn't sent the email. Checked Twitter. Got on Facebook. Didn't send the email. Paced around the office. Had to go to the bathroom. Still hadn't sent the email. Checked the mail, had to go do that, of course, right then. Cooked lunch, whittled a chair from a block of wood. I made that one up, but, you know, I did anything to avoid sending that email until I finally just pressed the freaking send button. Today, that person is a client. That person is a client that will single-handedly pay multiple people on our team's payroll. A single relationship that could change my life. A single email that could literally alter the course of my business and my future. You know, speaking of connecting with influencers, if you want to connect with influencers, you want to connect with people who are at your level or above your level, or maybe a little bit below your level, and some of them are going to be influencers, why don't you go to mattmcwilliams.com/insider and check out the Affiliate Insider Monthly program that we just started. It's our new membership site. We're not keeping registration open up very long. It's actually open right now. If you get in the month of November, you will get access to everything we have in the month of November. We have some amazing case studies. We have a backstage pass. We're going to take you through what we're doing in Pete Vargas's launch. We are doing things that we've never done before. He is doing things that people have never done before. How do you do a $1 million webinar? Well, you'll learn in that backstage pass. How do you promote? How do you finish toward the top of the leaderboard, which we're going to do because we're already pacing that way against names like Tony Robbins and Michael Hyatt and Stu McLaren? How do you do those things? When you have a list that's a fraction of their size, we'll show you in that backstage pass. We have an amazing insider profile with Holly Homer. You got our affiliate trends monthly report, our ATM report on how to do holiday promotions. And then, of course, our monthly fireside chat where we take all of your affiliate marketing questions. Again, mattmcwilliams.com/insider. Go join today. Join other amazing people in the Affiliate Insider Monthly. So connecting with influence, right? We're talking about that. We're talking about these fears, right? And I read, I forget which book it was that Keith Ferrazzi wrote. I might have been Never Eat Alone. I'm not sure, actually. But I've told this story so many times, I don't even remember what book it's in. But check out Keith Ferrazzi. And he talks about like these fears that he had, right? Connecting with VIPs, connecting with influencers. But he overcame them. And overcoming those fears allowed him to ultimately, I'll fast forward, became the chief marketing officer at Deloitte. But here's how it started. He was a 24-year-old graduate. He just graduated from Harvard Business School. He asked the CEO of Deloitte to dinner. In fact, they wanted him to come work, so he made it a condition of his coming to work for Deloitte. If I'm going to come work for you, I have to go to dinner with you. Like, who has the nerve to do? 24 years old? He's barely out of grad school making that kind of condition. The reality is we think, what do we say to ourselves? What's the story that the media tells us? What's the story that we hear from our parents? Money doesn't grow on trees, and among other things, right? And the story that they tell us is 24-year-olds don't get to be choosy. You should be glad you even have any job. Even if you hate what you're doing and you don't feel any calling to do it and you're exhausted at the end of the day and you wake up and you hate Mondays. Oh, you also hate Tuesdays, Wednesdays. You even hate Fridays because you've been there for 5 days, but you should be just happy you even have a job. 24-year-olds don't get to be choosy. That's what society tells us. But Keith made the request anyway, and the CEO said yes. What did he do? Go back to the very beginning. He introduced himself. He asked. The guy said yes. That was the path. There was no secret beyond that. There was no secret. What's the secret for getting over the fear? You do it. You ask. You introduce yourself. The CEO said yes. And so they had dinner. And after dinner, Keith agreed to take the job with Deloitte, but he had one more condition. That every year he and the CEO would eat dinner at the same restaurant. You want to keep me? 365 days from now, we're eating dinner again right here. What was his secret to ultimately becoming the chief marketing officer of one of the largest companies in the world at such a young age? What was the secret to getting that kind of connection with the CEO of the company at 24 years old with no experience, no credentials really? Because there were hundreds, if not thousands, of Harvard Business School graduates at Deloitte. Princeton Business School graduates, Wharton School graduates, Stanford School University, UCLA and Virginia, they're a dime a dozen at a place like Deloitte. So it's not like he stands out like he would say if he were going to work at, Taco Bell. What was his secret? Why did he get to the level that he got? Very simple. He asked a question that no one else would dare to ask. Of the tens of thousands of applicants prior to Keith, no one asked to go out with the CEO. No one made a request. No one said it's a condition of me coming to work for you. And then he asked to do it every year. And the CEO said yes again. He asked two questions that no one dared to ask. And so out of the thousands of people that Deloitte hired that year, how many had direct access to the CEO? One. Keith. Who was promoted the fastest? Keith. Not the most skilled person, not the hardest worker, not the smartest or the best looking. Keith. And so it goes against everything that we are told. Put your nose down, work hard. You should promote the person who has been there the longest. Why? And you can hear this story, and there are two worldviews, right? There are two worldviews. The one worldview says, that's not fair. I'm more qualified. I deserve that promotion. He got special treatment. Well, if I knew the CEO, I'd get promoted too. And those might all be true. The other worldview says what I've been telling you this whole time. That you're one relationship away from a breakthrough. You're one relationship away from a breakthrough. Because the reality is, life isn't fair. I kind of say all the time, life is kind of like one big good old boys club. Who you know and how well you know them is what separates the successful and the unsuccessful. You probably heard me say this before. It's not what you know, and it's not who you know, it's how well you know them. That's what separates the successful and the unsuccessful. It's the difference in poverty and abundance. You either join the club or the club eats you alive, because the world is continuing to move. That club is continuing to move, and you are one relationship away from a breakthrough. You may be more qualified, but it doesn't matter if you don't know the right people. The right skills without the right contacts are useless. The right ideas with the right connection, without the right connections to put those ideas into actions, are useless. So don't whine. Learn how to develop the right relationships that can help you change your life, finally achieve the breakthrough you've been looking for. Like I said, you are only one relationship away from a breakthrough. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Popeye that said that the rules is the rules, right? I don't know if he was or not, but the rules of life are the rules. And what you got 200 years ago still applies today. What works in California works in Mississippi. It works in Italy. It works in Morocco. It works in Germany. It works in China. And what happens is, so often we try to find the exceptions to the rules, or we make our own rules. We fight against that current rather than just riding it. If you've ever seen the movie Finding Nemo, they have to catch the East Australian current, right? And it moves so fast and they don't do anything. Imagine trying to go against the current. That doesn't work. It's exhausting. It's unproductive. And so almost every time, I want to speak to the introverts here. Almost every time I write something or record something about networking or relationship building, the importance of surrounding yourself with the right people, I get asked, what about us introverts? I mean, newsflash, I'm an introvert. I'm actually an extreme introvert. Now, people who meet me first before they hear that, and I've done this with in groups, in trainings where we've taken a personality test, and they hung out with me for like a day before they found out that I was actually an extreme introvert. And they're like, that's not even accurate. No, the reality is I am. And here's the thing. There's no special rules for introverts. Just as there's no special rules for extroverts either. I love being around people, but more so, I understand that life is truly all about how well you know the people you know. By definition, I'm an introvert, but I play an extrovert on television. Yeah, I would much rather go be by myself and read a book than be in a group of people. But I do those things because they are important. Yeah, you have to take time to read. Yeah, you have to spend time being still. Yes, you have to take time to think and meditate. But you need people. And so there's no special rules for introverts. You have to make the time to network. You still need community. You still have to get out of your comfort zone. Surround yourself with influencers. Build those relationships with people who can reach your goals. So if you're an introvert, stop looking for ways around the rules of life. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop being afraid to stretch yourself. To be successful, you need the same thing as extroverts need. You need people. You need relationships. Those are the rules. That's how the world operates. Whether you like it or not, that's how the world operates. So stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for those shortcuts. Stop thinking that you need to produce better videos to get more views, when really what you need to do is find 5 influencers who will share your content. Stop thinking that you need to have better Facebook ad, hide behind a Facebook ad, hide behind a webinar screen, hide behind improving your landing page copy, when what you need is 5 partners who will mail their massive list and get you a flood of traffic. That's how the world works. That's how affiliate marketing works. Right now, you are one relationship away from a breakthrough. One relationship away from finally achieving your dreams. One relationship away from turning that crazy idea into a business. One relationship away from just unthinkable opportunity in your life. The question is this: will you dare to reach out to enough people to find that one breakthrough relationship? Because you're going to hear no a lot. But will you dare to reach out to enough people, not stop at 5, 10, 15, 50, 100? Will you dare to reach out to enough people to find that one breakthrough relationship? If you will, I promise you, in time, you will find massive success. Massive success with the right relationships. Now, real quick before we wrap up, one thing that will help you, it's not the end all be all, but one thing will help you is our How to Find Affiliates, the Ultimate Guide. You can find that at mattmcwilliams.com/find affiliates. We've got tons of resources on there for finding the right affiliates, how to connect with them, why you should work with small affiliates, 15 different ways to find the right affiliates, how to use paid traffic to find affiliates, how to recruit affiliates that you don't even know, how to connect with them, how to get more affiliates to say yes, how to get them to actually promote, why you should work with your competitors as affiliate, just a bunch of other stuff. And then make sure to skip all the way to the end. My number one affiliate recruiting email, we revealed it live on Facebook. Make sure to go check that out. mattmcwilliams.com/find affiliates. Listen, like I said, the question is, will you dare to reach out to enough people to find that breakthrough relationship? You're one relationship away. Just one relationship away from a massive breakthrough. Dare to start reaching out. Dare to challenge yourself. Dare to reach out to 10 people every day. Dare to break through your comfort zone. Dare to reach out to enough people. It takes numbers. Might get the first person. It might be the 10th. It might be the 100th. I don't know. But dare to reach out to enough people and then reach out to them again and then reach out to them again and keep reaching out. Keep connecting. Build your network. And I promise you in time, you will have that breakthrough relationship. I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening today. Remember to check out all of our deep dives into affiliate marketing at theaffiliateguy.tv. And if you have a question, you can ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Who knows? Might end up being featured on this podcast.